Forget the scale, believe me. Measuring success solely by weight can be misleading and hinder your progress. After all, the scale shows your total weight, fat, muscle, bones, organs, and water, without differentiating between them. Since muscle is denser than fat, you could be gaining muscle mass and losing fat without seeing a significant change in your body weight. This doesn't mean your effort isn't paying off, as it's very common to maintain the same weight while drastically reducing your body fat percentage. To guide you in this transformative process, I've separated the best tips that are essential to help you build muscle while burning fat. By following what I'll teach you here, your goal will be successfully achieved. I'm personal trainer Brian, and I'll take you to your best physical shape. So, instead of fixating on the numbers on the scale, focus on observing other indicators of progress, changes in body measurements, increases in strength and endurance, how you look in the mirror, and how your clothes fit. These are the real signs of a successful transformation. Building muscle and burning fat simultaneously is simpler than you think. Besides being the best strategy, this process, known as body recomposition, has been proven by scientific studies as an effective approach, especially for beginners or those with a higher body fat percentage. And here's some good news. Even if you're already advanced in your fitness journey or have a low body fat percentage, you don't need to stick to the traditional bulking and cutting cycle. Body recomposition offers a promising alternative to guide you in this process, so start building muscle while burning fat now. Now let's move on to the next tip, which is to optimize your workouts for this goal. You should focus exclusively on building muscle rather than on burning fat as the strategy to adopt when planning and executing your workouts. In fact, fat loss should be the last thing on your mind right now, as diet adjustment will be your main ally in this aspect. To gain muscle, you need to increase your training volume and ensure progressive overload over time. Training volume is basically the total number of sets multiplied by the number of repetitions and the weight used. One of the most effective methods to ensure an increase in training volume and stimulate muscle growth is to progressively increase the load. A valuable tip for the number of sets and repetitions that effectively stimulate muscle growth is to aim for 18 to 20 heavy sets per muscle group per week, with 8 to 10 repetitions per set. I suggest splitting the weekly number of sets into 2 workouts, performing 9 to 10 sets per muscle group in each session. For this, you can adopt a well-divided workout routine, such as chest and triceps one day, legs the next, and back and biceps on the third day. After a day of rest, repeat the cycle. Alternatively, opting for full-body workouts 3 times a week is a valid option, where there would be 6 sets per muscle group per workout. As you increase the load, it's natural for the number of repetitions to decrease, which is perfectly aligned with our goal. This justifies having a repetition range of 6 to 10. If you can't perform an exercise with a certain load for 10 repetitions, it's time to increase the weight, which will likely reduce your repetitions. And so, progressively, you'll be on the right track for muscle growth. As you get stronger, the goal is to work your way up to doing up to 10 repetitions with the new, heavier weight. Over time, you become stronger and repeat the process. Increase the weight, decrease the repetitions, and then work to increase the repetitions again. This basic strategy is particularly effective, especially in the early stages of your muscle development. But, to further boost your gains and ensure progressive overload, a valuable tip is to incorporate periodization and vary your repetition ranges every 4 weeks. This will not only increase your ability to lift more weight over time, but also contribute to significant muscle growth. A great starting point is to focus on 6 to 8 repetitions for 4 weeks, then switch to 10 to 12 repetitions for the next 4 weeks, and finish with 3 to 5 repetitions in the last 4 weeks. Repeat this 12-week cycle continuously. You will find that with each new phase of the cycle, you'll be able to lift heavier loads than before. The higher repetition ranges will develop your muscular endurance, while the lower ones will increase your strength and loading capacity. It's important to note that each of these repetition ranges should be accompanied by a load that is heavy enough to push you to the limit up to 1 repetition short of the end of the planned range. Thus, you should be lifting significantly heavier weights for 3 to 5 repetitions compared to 10 to 12 repetitions. Pay attention to this to maximize your potential. I know none of this sounds like a quick and magical solution for muscle growth. However, if you stick with this training strategy for just 12 weeks, I believe you'll be quite impressed with your results, both in terms of strength and muscle growth. Now, regarding cardio, The main tip is to keep it low impact and at reduced intensity to avoid interfering with your weight training. Cardio is essential for many sports and excellent for health, but it's not strictly necessary for body recomposition. And if you overdo cardio, it can do more harm than good. Since our goal is to build muscle and burn fat simultaneously, we want to focus our workouts on muscle growth, not on burning extra calories with cardio. Therefore, for cardio, I recommend just walking or activities of equivalent intensity, allowing you to fully recover for each of your weight training sessions. If cardio is leaving you sore, it's time to switch to a lower impact and intensity form of cardio. Of course, as I've already mentioned, nutrition is a crucial component. The first step in terms of nutrition is to define a primary goal, even if you're addressing both aspects simultaneously. If you're new to weightlifting or haven't lifted weights in a while, your body is especially primed for muscle growth. So, your main goal should be to start with a caloric deficit because, even in deficit, your body still has an enhanced capacity to gain muscle. This is particularly true if you're obese or have a high body fat percentage. In that case, all that fat acts as a large energy reserve, from which your body can draw calories to fuel fat reduction, muscle growth, and vital functions. After calculating your daily protein amount, you will use the remaining calories and divide them equally to determine your intake of fats and carbohydrates. First, have the remaining calories, then calculate the required daily amount of fat by dividing one of the halves by 9, since each gram of fat contains approximately 9 calories. For carbohydrates, divide the other half by 4. Each gram of carbohydrate has about 4 calories. Of course, you can adjust to have more fats and fewer carbohydrates, or vice versa, but a good starting point is to simply split the remaining energy calories in half. Now, you have the amounts of proteins, carbohydrates, and fats needed to build muscle and burn fat simultaneously and as quickly as possible. Every few weeks, assess your progress and adjust as necessary. If you're not gaining muscle, consider increasing your caloric intake by 200 to 300 calories every 2 days. Conversely, if fat loss isn't happening, you may decrease your caloric intake by 200 to 300 calories in the same interval. These adjustments should come from fats and carbohydrates, as your protein intake should remain constant, as I shared the secret earlier. Lastly, where the magic happens, ensuring proper rest and sleep is crucial. Lack of sleep can significantly slow down fat loss and make it extremely difficult to maintain and gain muscle. For most people, the ideal target is between 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. While you sleep, your body is dedicated to repairing damaged muscle tissues from weightlifting, burning fat, and releasing extremely beneficial recovery hormones, such as testosterone. I'll explain how to naturally increase it to its maximum level in my next video, thus further optimizing your muscle gain. By following these steps, you'll be on the right track to achieve your body recomposition goal, striking the right balance between training, nutrition, and rest. I genuinely hope you reach your outcome with a bit of my wisdom. If I've helped you in any way, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your questions in the comments. Turn on notifications for many more tips towards your ultimate fitness form. Thank you very much.